Well, parents in Pennsylvania unhappy after discovering their children attended a school trip to see a show performance of Alice in Wonderland, but the issue with the parents is it was featuring drag performers. Parents allegedly unaware of any drag performers taking part in the show, only became aware of the fact after some children said they were forced to wear masks at an event, and it prompted parents to investigate the outing. And that's how they arrived at this juncture. Shannon Grady is the Moms for Liberty chapter chair in Chester County, Pennsylvania. Shannon joins us live about this story. So to be very clear, your children were not in attendance at the field trip, but because of obviously your position, chair, you have heard from parents in that school. Tell me about what you heard, please.
Well, as the chair of Chester County, we had about 7 school districts across the county from 1st grade through 7th grade who had attended the show. And the parents started reaching out really after the fact. The kids came home. Really, the main complaint was, we were forced to wear masks and the schools didn't notify parents of that fact. There were a lot of parents who wouldn't have sent their children to the show with that masking requirement. And then the permission slips basically either said field trip to People's Light Theater, which is a theater that the schools had been going to for a while. So they didn't really think anything of it. Looking into Alice in Wonderland, seems like a normal show. But one of the middle school kids did mention something about characters twerking. So parents started looking into it and realized that the main performer had been hired by the theater to essentially promote various genders to the children. So the main complaint with the parents is, a theme across our county and across many schools in the country right now is a diminishing lack of trust in our schools and a diminishing amount of transparency in the schools. Because normally you wouldn't really have to look twice into your kids going to see Alice in Wonderland, but apparently now we have to look into everything.
Yeah, just to give a little bit of credibility to one of the statements you made in terms of one of the drag performers, one of the drag performer and star of the show spoke to a local news outlet saying this in part: there's a lot of misrepresentation that happens in theater and in media in general. Kids are introduced to gender norms so early without even telling them, just from the media that they intake. So since they already have so much knowledge that comes from one side of the gender spectrum, it really is no different to allow them to experience the other side, end quote. That is from one of the drag star performers speaking to a local news outlet. What is your reaction to that statement, Shannon, or other moms' reactions?
Right. Well, the parents, and that's exactly the point. We want to decide what our children are exposed to. And unfortunately, many of the parents did not have that opportunity to decide if they wanted their children exposed to that type of, roles or behavior or acts, especially on a school field trip. It should have been explicitly communicated to the parents, and it was not. So a lot of the schools are trying to take more and more role of parental decisions, and this is just one area where this is a common theme happening across our schools. So parents want to be able to decide what we want our children exposed to.
I hear you. So did you reach out to any of the schools? I think you mentioned 7 districts, and we're talking age groups 1st through 7th grade per your statement. Have you reached out to the schools through your chapter that you represent?
Yes, so we have constant communication with the schools, many of our, myself and many of our members. And again, this is just one example of the diminishing trust and transparency in our school districts. So what we feel should have happened, and it could have been an honest mistake by the schools. Like I said, a lot of the schools have been taking the kids to this theater for many years, and there's never been a real issue. But maybe they were unaware, and we feel like they should have just apologized. And once they did find out, put more information out to the parents and let them decide if they want their children to attend. I mean, that's really all we're parents want. They want to be involved. They want to know what's going on, and they want more transparency. They want to know details. The fact that some of the districts that we did reach out to, they kind of pushed it back onto the parents and said, well, you should have looked into it more. We were transparent. Well, when you see Alice in Wonderland on a permission slip, you don't really think twice about it, right? So it's really a sad state that we have to really look into everything, that we can't trust our schools to go on a field trip without having to investigate exactly what that is. So that's kind of the position a lot of the schools are taking when we have reached out to them.
Well, listen, we appreciate you sharing that story with us. We know we cover these. We hear a lot from parents upset about certain things that their child is exposed to. Again, 1st through 7th grade there. That is a young age. Shannon Grady joining us live with that. Shannon, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.